And joining us here today on News 10 this morning is Greg Riley, our pet expert today. And today we're talking about heart murmurs, and we even have Buddy here to kind of share that with us.
Right, Buddy is a 13-year-old Pomeranian, and he's been graciously here from the Singh family. And basically we're going to be talking about heart murmurs. What exactly is a heart murmur? What does it look like on an x-ray? And actually, we actually have some sounds of what a heart murmur sounds like. So when I listen to it with my stethoscope, what the veterinarian is going to be hearing. So basically, in a quick overview, and not to be getting too complicated, what a heart murmur is where the valve in the heart is defective and it's not pumping the blood from one chamber of the heart to the other. So I've got an x-ray here of Buddy here from last January, and this is what eventually, what we're going to be seeing here is, I would say maybe a grade 1 heart murmur, and the way we grade them is through 1 through 6, 6 obviously being the worst. As we can see right now, we've got a little bit of fluid buildup right along here, along the trachea. But if we could take a look at his lungs are nice and black and clear. So that was from last January. Now if we fast forward to this January, we could take a look at the changes of his heart and the changes of his lungs. As we could tell, you could see this little cloudy area in his lungs, and that's going to be fluid. But take a look at his trachea and how much it's really collapsed so much from the previous x-ray. We've got a lot of fluid buildup right here, and we also have this fluid that's present up against the heart, and the heart's a little bit larger. So he's actually having a harder time breathing just due to this fluid buildup. And the way that is caused is from the blood that's in his heart. Basically, it starts to pool, and eventually it'll find its way into its lungs. So we also have a sound bit of a normal heartbeat, what it's going to sound like, say, Buddy from about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. We're going to play that really quickly. Okay. Fast forward to what Buddy's heart sounds like right now. You're going to be hearing a classic, what we would say is a washing machine sound heartbeat.
Okay. And that's the fluid.
That's the fluid, right? The first heartbeat that we heard is a normal lub-dub sound. The second machine is going to be more like a whoosh-dub, whoosh-dub. And that's basically the changes of the heart that's having a really hard time pushing that blood from one chamber to the other.
Now, if your dog is like Buddy and you have concerns, what are some of the symptoms you can look for? I mean, we heard him kind of wheezing. He has a coughing to him.
Right. Certainly coughing. If you take a look at his gums, sometimes our gums will be a little bit pale. Obviously, they'll be having a hard time from exercising. They'll be very listless, lethargic. Sometimes there'll be some restlessness with your dog, with your cat, even at nighttime, trying to get to sleep. So certainly if you have any of those symptoms, definitely consult your local veterinarian and see what they recommend.
And quickly, what are some of the treatments we can do for these little guys?
There's going to be 3 medications that Buddy is on. One is a diuretic that's going to help get those fluids out of his heart into his bladder, and that'll give him some ease for him to breathe. The other 2 medications will strengthen his heart, so he's able to pump from one chamber to the other.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for bringing him in and coming in so early this morning. We appreciate it, and a lot of good information for us.
Sure.
Well, it sounds good, and as long as you want to have any information and you'd like to get a hold of Greg Riley before we head into break, you can see if you have any questions, the number will be on your screen. We'll be right back.